When I came on as executive director, it was all pretty well formed. First thing that I learned and loved about Great Lakes United was the inclusion of all these people from around the lakes who were having the exact same issues that we had here. The first time I met Great Lakes United, the reason I got involved is they were doing hearings around the Great Lakes on the Great Lakes Water Quality Agreement and the areas of concern. They went to all the areas of concern, maybe not all, but most of them. And people came to learn, what they were doing and what they might do, how they could work together. All of those meetings were regenerative in themselves, hearing other communities dealing with the stuff that you're dealing with, but they've made a breakthrough here or something, good idea there. That was a very, very powerful thing that Great Lakes United did. It just connected us all. The one story that I remember the most, it will never leave me, was when we did a whole series of hearings. When I was executive director, we did 10 across that span from Duluth. We had one in Duluth, we had one in Montreal, and we had one in Detroit, and we had one in Buffalo. The one in Detroit was attended by the Walpole Island Indigenous Nation, which includes Potawatomi and Chippewa or Anishinaabe, and I think a third nation too. There's a lake in the middle of the Detroit River before it gets into Detroit. In this lake, there's an island called Walpole Island, and it is totally an indigenous island occupied by these people. And they were at this hearing that I was at in Detroit, and one of the speakers, he said, we are downstream from Chemical Valley. Chemical Valley is Sarnia and another city, at the top of it's the headwaters of the Detroit River. And then the Detroit River flows down. Well, it's also called Cancer Alley because such industrialization at the north end of the Detroit River in Sarnia that the water was undrinkable. So all of the people living along the Detroit River, the smaller communities, were getting, big money to, have water, either have their water piped from somewhere else, sometimes very far away. And the guy from Walpole Island at the hearing said, we won't do that. We were offered to do that and we won't do it. We're not going to tie into this water main that's coming from wherever, somebody's water treatment plant, because are the birds getting this water? Are the animals getting this water? Are we the only ones that are going to be getting this water? We would not do that to our relations. We can't have that. So they don't. I still can't believe it. I was so impressed with that thinking. I think it's very impressive.